Yo, it's Fergie Baby, Harlem Baby, goddess from Harlem, Harlem is heaven. I just jumped up the porch with dirty glove bastards. Y'all know what's going on. Welcome to the palace, man. We outside, GGU. Oh, shouldn't be you kidding me.
Know where the bitches at? Skinny can't. Peanut for the shorties linking, I'm telling you where it's at. It's a good day to be in Harlem.
Yes, sir. All right, now, y'all know we had to take our talents to NYC. We got my man Fergie Baby jumping off the porch with us today. What's good, bro?
Harlem is heaven. I appreciate you for having me. Much love,
for
man.
sure, bro. For sure.
Off the porch, we here. Come on. Y'all in the towns now. We here.
Yes, sir. No, man. It's definitely, man, you know, a pleasure being able to chop it up with you, man. Your energy right now, like here in New York, is just crazy. You got the hottest song in New York right now.
Appreciate you.
A Good Day in Harlem. And, you know, like for just a new artist, you know, coming into the game and really breaking out, how does it feel to be received the way that you're being received right now?
Lessons. We've been working at this for 8 years now, so it's coming to fruition. We manifested this moment. We've been prepared, it's just now the world waking up, you know what I'm saying? So ain't nothing changed over here, but it's just time, it's just a testament of we doing the right thing.
Yeah.
We making the right music. So.
And they say it takes 10 years to make an overnight success.
That's a fact.
So, you know, to hear how long you've been putting in work and that you've been doing this, so now that the energy is coming in your direction, it's like you ready because you've already been putting in that work.
This ain't nothing.
Yeah.
We gonna continue being ourselves and dropping this heat, you know?
Yeah. And how did the song A Good Day in Harlem, how did that come about?
This dude, my man Kajun, this is my exclusive producer. He does basically half of my catalog. He had Good Day to Be in Harlem beat for like 2 years, and he kept pitching it to me, kept presenting it to me like, yo, this the one. And I always knew it was the one, but it wasn't just the time for it. I didn't know what to do with it yet.
Yeah.
And then we started working on our mixtape Summer League Series Volume 1. And I don't know, it just, the sonics of that record, the energy of that record hit me. And it was one of the last songs we did to record the mixtape. And it was natural. It was summer day. How we gonna close out the summer with that? And we just did Good Day to Be in Harlem, man.
Yeah.
And we took the essence and the inspo from Ice Cube, Good Day, and just flipped it into a New York version. But Kajun already saw the vision 2 years prior. I ain't know this until last summer, man.
Word.
Like I knew it was a hit, but I didn't know what to do with it. So,
yeah.
But that's just a testament. Like timing is everything. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Timing is everything,
Yeah.
and it's almost like if you would have done something to that beat, you know, earlier than you did, then it probably wouldn't have even have come out to be what it ended up being.
And I also say it's God too, because who would have knew? Like, you know what I'm saying? God had this the alignment set up for us to happen. It was already written, you know what I'm saying? So we just had to deliver and execute.
And according to you, God is from Harlem.
God is from Harlem, Harlem is heaven, man. Welcome to the palace from 110th to 155th every time, man.
Man, how'd you come up with that, bro? Like that Harlem, like that Harlem is heaven. Like that's such a dope saying.
Community, man. Like I honestly felt that, but my man Jeff, me and him went to Penn State together. We was the only Harlem niggas in on campus at the time. So, you know, us two Harlem niggas, we gonna make sure as we heard and we seen, you know what I'm saying? So based down to the aura, he used to always scream out, God is from Harlem. And this is before I started rapping, but I used to take it like, oh yeah, this God is really from Harlem.
Yeah.
And I feel that. As I started rapping, I started saying it. I used to say God is from Harlem. So my big bro Whispers, he said, I got something that could add on to that. God is from Harlem, Harlem is heaven. I said, oh yeah, that's it right there. So it was like community and just what we feel as far as like being from uptown, you know what I'm saying? And I really feel like God is from Harlem. And the phrase I use, God is from Harlem, but the devil around the corner, because through all the adversities, trial and tribulations, at the end of the day, we in the trenches. People getting killed, things is happening, but we always remain superior in God's faith. Like, we still gonna be good, you know what I'm saying? That's why I made Good Day to Be in Harlem, because out of all this shit, we still good. We still them niggas.
Yeah.
We still gonna make sure things is going on as it's supposed to go on in a good, positive way.
Right.
So, that's the real.
And it's funny, bro, because whenever you meet New Yorkers in, you know, different cities, even different countries, a New Yorker is always going to tell you how New York is the best place ever,
Facts.
whether it's from the food, the culture, the music, whatever it may be. So I guess it's only fitting to say that God is from Harlem.
God is from Harlem, Harlem is heaven, man.
Yeah.
110th to 155th. I'm going to keep saying it. Welcome to the palace, you know?
Nah, I can dig that. And what part of Harlem you from, bro? What part you
I'm from
represent?
Esplanade Gardens, 145th and Lenox.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for you, what was it like growing up? What were some of your experiences, growing up here in Harlem?
Being outside, I was before making music and before really going to school to Penn State, I was always outside doing parties. I was always a community guy. That's why I was lit before all this, and this is why my community in Harlem backed me up, because they saw the progression from me just being a regular Harlem kid, playing basketball, throwing parties, being with females, being with my gang, and then transitioning into it as a profession. So it was the aura was always lit. Summertime, everybody outside, culture there, black excellence, down to the food, to the music, to the energy. Lenox Ave, always everybody outside from the morning to the night. So, it was always community-based in Harlem.
Yeah.
And just the music with Dipset, added on Max B, ASAP Mob. So it was 50 blocks always stood against any borough. Down to the end, we were trendsetters, home of the hustlers. We started a lot. Down to the aura, down to the dressing, down to the energy. So that's what it was in Harlem, man.
Right. And what was inspiring you at a young age?
I mean, yeah, like I said, Dipset, me being outside, black basketball, it shaped me to who I am today. Throwing parties, just being outside, like for real. You know what I'm saying? So.
And at what point would you say you jumped off the porch?
That's a great question. I jumped off the porch probably like freshman year of high school.
Okay.
That's when I really my mom kind of started seeing like, oh, my son is different. And like I said, I throw parties, so that requires you jumping off the porch, going outside and being in the streets, touching the people.
Yeah.
So I would say freshman, sophomore year.
Okay.
Word. Yeah, I was like about 14, 15.
And was music something that you always aspired to do? Was it something that you always knew that you wanted to do and wanted to be a part of?
I don't know. Like, I always loved music. I was very musically inclined by the household I was in. But I was around people who took music seriously. And after a while, when you around people that took make music seriously, you start dibbling, dabbling, doing it for fun, as a hobby. And my friends in my community knew that I had a talent before I did. So one day they all put up money for one session, and that's when I did my first single, Bleachers. And from that point on, it still was a hobby, but it didn't take until my third mixtape, Are You Done Volume 2, when I did with him. We used to live together in an apartment in Washington Heights, me, him, and my man Nick.
Okay.
And we cooked up a whole mixtape in the bedroom. Like, we had the home studio and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's when I knew, like, this is a passion, I'm nice, and I think this is something where we could change our lives with.
Yeah. And Washington Heights, were you going to like Dykeman and?
Yeah, hell yeah. Dykeman, oh my God, I got stories for Dykeman, but we did all that. We did the Washington Heights, we did the Dykeman, we did LES, we did the Harlem, we did the Brooklyn, we did the Bronx, did it all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I could dig that. And you mentioned that you went to Penn State.
Yeah.
Which, I've heard you even in other interviews and even through your music, just talking about that experience, which a lot of people would normally try to hide and try to, just keep the facade of like just strictly being a street dude or, whatever. So I think it's dope that you talk about the fact that you went to college.
Both sides of the world, man. I'm outside in the streets, but like we educated. We still got a head on our shoulders.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got a bachelor's degree in criminal justice.
Okay.
Came home and did music.
Yeah.
It's weird. But, I got both sides of the field.
What made you go to Penn State?
I ain't gonna lie, 2 reasons. I wanted to go to college, and also, respectfully, my mother. Like, my mom was like, listen, you went to high school, we gonna do college too. But it's your choice of what school you wanna go to. We did the applications, and the best school that reached out was Penn State.
Right.
And I wanted to go away. I wanted to get the experience of meeting new people, experiencing new things, and also being on my own outside of my mother.
Yeah.
And then I think that was one of the best decisions I've ever made. Because now my mental is different, my perspective is different. And those people helped me get into being Fergie Baby as an artist. You know what I'm saying? And as just a person. So, yeah.
And where, go ahead.
That's it.
And where'd the name Fergie Baby come from?
My last name, Ferguson.
Okay.
And then Baby was just stuck, being in front of her, being a hood baby. And then the inspiration came from Bebe's Kids.
Huh.
One of my cartoon idols was Pee-wee, the little gangster baby with the pamper, with the flies coming out. He was just always gangster and just the smallest one out of everybody. So I just put it together and put Fergie Baby.
Word. I can dig that. And with your song "Good Day in Harlem," how did you end up getting Ferg to hop on the remix?
Shout out Cam, Killer. Like I've been chopping it up with Killer. He being like a mentor figure, and we got a record coming out. So ASAP Ferg reached out to Cam and was like, "Yo, I want to get a record with you and Fergie Baby. I want to get on that Harlem River Drive." So that's the initial song that me and Cam is on. He was like, "Nah, I know another song you could get on, and I think you'll body it." And he was like, "Get on that Good Day to Be in Harlem. I think you'll go crazy."
Yeah.
Ferg was like, "You know what, you right." And that's just, it was just like that. He got on it. I remember we was in Houston. We got the verse. That was the best Houston trip ever. On top of that, you know what I'm saying? So we got that, and then the rest is history.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out Ferg, man. You bodied that. You just upped the record in the whole moment for me. So shout out Ferg and Cam for that assist.
Definitely a good day in Harlem when the vets and the new age, you know, in the scene, you know, are able to connect the dots with, you know, I don't know, Ferg is in between being a vet and being a new, you know what I'm saying? It's just dope to, you know, and like I said, a good day in Harlem for, you know, for that unity to be there.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. I'm blessed.
Yeah.
It's like they passing me the torch right now, and we're gonna do this the right way. It's the unity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How does that feel, you know, to have that unity like that and to have people who've done it before you to embrace you and be willing to work with you and share game and all of that? Because a lot of times you will see where the people that came before you may feel like you taking a spot, so they won't want to share game or they're a gatekeep.
Yeah. I mean, it's a testament to we doing the right thing and we just restoring the energy. We getting love from every generation, so it's already written from God, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just honored to take the position. Ain't no pressure. Like I said, we've been in the limelight, but we in the limelight in a different figure right now. So if it's to make my hometown restore the energy and the feeling back to where we gave back then to now 2026, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
It's time. It's time.
Yeah. So,
I feel good.
And it's that energy similar to when I remember Double XL did a cover years back where they did like a, you know, like the Great Day in Harlem, you know, cover.
Yeah, I want to recreate that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the one to recreate that. You know what I'm saying? That was like how long ago that was? That was a minute.
Yeah, that was probably almost like
20 years ago, right?
Yeah, probably about 18 to 20 years ago, something like
I
that.
definitely want to recreate that. All the public figures of Uptown come together. Great Day to Be in Harlem.
Yeah.
And we do it like that. So I'm manifesting that.
Nah, that'll be dope, man. And you know, we also see, you know, some of the feuds between some of, you know, our favorite people in Harlem. So like it would be dope if someone, you know, of your caliber and what you're doing could even bring some of those other, you know, relationships.
I feel like I'm the only person that could break down unity back.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do this the right way.
And you were just in the studio with Max B.
Yeah, shout out to shout out Unc, man.
What was that like being in the studio with the Wave God?
Literally the Wave God. He talk in third person. He talk like, yo, it's the Dog Big Avell here to say the day. Like he really talk like that. He play all day. But he's such a warm, blessed feeling. Like, you know what I'm saying? He happy to be home. He just blessed. He's happy. And yeah, I got the real support from Unc, man, and I appreciate him. He doing his thing, man. He about to flood the streets as he always would, as he always should. And now we about to have our own moment on my debut album. So shout out to Max. Shout out to the whole EMG.
No, for sure, for sure. And I know the song Good Day in Harlem, it came out on your Summer League Series Volume 1.
Yeah.
What was the energy around creating that project? And for people who watching you on the channel, seeing you for the first time, what should they expect when they go and listen to your music? Well,
Summer League was specifically to make music to be outside. Cookouts, block parties, Lenox Ave, strip club. Like, it's just we outside, like ice cups. So that it's self-explanatory for a reason. Like, we wanted you to, when you come to Harlem in the summertime, we want you to feel that energy. We outside, it's the good energy, good feeling, good females, you know what I'm saying? So that was our concept for Summer League as a trilogy, because we're doing Volume 2 and Volume 3. Okay. So we want you to always feel like when I listen to Summer League, I want to be outside in Harlem, right on the strip, I need an ice cup with some females and your peoples, you know, community based.
And when you dropped your Harlem River Drive, North and South, what was the vibe with that project? Like, where were you at mentally with that?
So now you hear Summer League, that's the outside. Harlem River Drive was more so in its cold, soulful, in the car music. I kind of wanted to make my own version of how Fab did his soul tapes, sonically, and just the presentation of it. So I feel like it's like yin and yang, like, you know, the sun, but now Harlem River Drive is the cold. I want you to show the other side of New York, the pain.
Yeah.
You know, the church. Summer League, we outside.
Right. And if you could name, you know, like maybe your top 5 artists from Harlem. I don't even want to limit it to Harlem. Just even in New York, period. Like, who would you say?
New York. My top 1. Obviously, my top 2 is Hove and Cam. I'm gonna go Busta and Meth. My 5th. I could range whoever. I could go Tiana Taylor. I could go Big L. I could go DMX. Varies. Yeah, we could go Raekwon. Like, there's so many people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's my people right there for right now.
How important is it for you to be diverse in the type of music that you make? It seems like as New York has, you know, gained like more ears and more people like checking for the music, it's mainly been drill style music, but you're diverse in the type of music that you do. Like, how important is that for you to not just stick in one box, you know, when it comes to
your own man, staying in your own lane. I always said that I'm gonna have my own sound and I'm gonna go this way while everybody going that way. And shout out to the drill community. I'm not discrediting them, but I wanted my own sound.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then coming up from a household where I was exposed to different sounds, from Motown to the R&B to hip hop to different sounds. When I became a real artist, I had different pockets, I had different flows, I had different knowledge. So it just came fluently. I could go on any beat and adjust anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, like I've seen people in the comments and on Twitter like saying how, you know, some of your freestyles is like a breath of fresh air, you know what I mean? And then I feel like you have a good combination of young cats that's really rocking with your music, but then also like older heads is even rocking with your music.
Bringing
and
the gap.
You know, the fact that you storytelling and, you know, bringing like soul to the music as well, and, you know, all that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, again, it's a blessing. I don't be noticing what I do until it's out, and people tell me, like, you don't know what you just did. Like, from the old heads to the younger generation, I'm bridging gaps.
Yeah.
I'm talking about what happened in the 2010s, but I got a 90s flow, and we in 2025, 2026, you know what I'm saying? So it's a blessing, man.
Yeah.
That's how I know I'm gifted, because it's all natural. I ain't thinking too hard. This is really my life experiences, or talking about my other people's life experiences, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure. And you've been receiving cosigns from Camron, from Swizz Beats, Max B, Cash Cobain, Ferg, Jewels. But then on Twitter, I saw that you said that you still feel like you being slept on.
Yeah.
Why do you feel like, you know, people still sleeping on you?
Politics, gatekeeping. They see I'm here, but they just choose not to still let Ferg do.
Yeah.
But it don't matter, because we're gonna knock this shit down. But I still see some of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sleeping on my capabilities and what I've been doing or what I can do. But the album gonna tell itself. I ain't tripping. You know
I know you signed to Empire. How has Empire been as a partner?
Beautiful. Right now, the greatest support system. They understand me and my team, and they just there to add fuel to the fire. They not stepping on toes creatively.
Yeah.
Submit the work, and we gonna do the rest.
And you working on your debut album right now?
Yes.
What's the title?
Chill, not yet. Not yet.
Oh, okay,
Not
okay.
yet, not yet. When it's done, it's not done yet. So when everything is done and I can really talk about the dates and the album, I'll disclose that, but not right now.
Yeah.
Still a lot of work to be done.
Word. And I know Billboard featured you on their platform. How does that feel to, not only be getting love amongst your community, amongst your peers, but then also to, start having some of these platforms actually, pay homage to you.
Testament to what we doing the right thing. Shout out to Empire and Jazz for being a good publicist and a good resource, to get in these platforms to pay attention and realize what's going on. But people people come to me in Kajun all the time. How y'all feel? Y'all on Billboard, y'all on this, y'all on that third. It's like, we blessed, we happy as shit, but there's so much work to be done. We still in the hood.
Yeah.
We got way more work to be, we got shit to do. Yeah. So we happy, grateful, blessed. We got to get out of here though. We got shit to do.
How does it make you feel when you're headlining New York Fashion Week and, like these opportunities are starting to come your way now, knowing, how much work you've been putting in?
Repeat that question one more time.
How does it feel to be headlining, big events like New York Fashion Week, knowing, how much work you've been putting in? And
blessings, man, manifestation. And it's like, also too, it's bridging the gap between the music and the fashion. I love clothes, I love fashion. So like I said, divine alignment, it's already written. You just gotta execute at this point and put yourself in the right position. Everything's gonna come together.
And you rep for Harlem, so heavy, but it's not just, just like the flashy side of it and what people may see when they see you. Like, you also are active in the community. I know that you host like back to school drives, other initiatives for the youth. Can you talk to me about your Juneteenth Forever organization and your goals with that?
Juneteenth is a simple activation or cookout or an event for people to come together, especially our people as Black, to come together and enjoy the day of liberation, the day of Black slaves being free, and just celebrating from where we come from and where we are now as a people, as a community. So we have it annually. We having our 5th year anniversary this year, and we have thousands of people come together and just party and just have a good time. No gunshots, nobody getting fights, no bodies. We might have a little dick rider police outside, but it is what it is. But as a people, we understand the goal of just coming together and having fun, man. And I think we forgot the essence of that in New York as of lately in my generation, you know what I'm saying? With all the negativity and all the violence is going on. I feel like that day is for us to come together as one and celebrate, you know what I'm saying? So we make sure we do that every year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, we don't charge, just come out and have a good time. Right. You know what I'm saying? So.
I can dig it. Lately, I've been more celebrating Juneteenth than 4th of July.
Oh yeah, July 4th is a dub.
Yeah.
We still gonna party.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we still gonna do our thing, but especially uptown Harlem or New York, we starting to lean and shift over to Juneteenth as the real holiday for us. You know what I'm saying? So.
Nah, for sure. Your song "Don't Tell Me," 9 to 5. We were talking about earlier. You embracing, that you had a 9 to 5. Early on and all of that. Can you just talk about that song and it's been received well?
That song, that verse was written years ago when I think I just got fired from my job. I'm tired. I was never a person to be controlled. I was never a person to be robotic. You're not about to tell me how to wake up, when to wake up, how to talk, how to dress. And I feel like after a while, just me trying after school, I felt like I was being controlled and not really living my life. You know what I'm saying? So that song was really out of frustration and know that I'm bigger and better than a corporate 9 to 5. And to each his own. That life could be fitted for you, but it wasn't fit for me. I got fired from 3 corporate jobs after school.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't happening. Getting there late, taking longer shifts in my break and for lunch, you know what I'm saying? And then it's a 9 to 5 from Monday to Friday. You got 1 hour to eat. You got to be there at 9 o'clock, leave at 5 o'clock. By the time you get home, you got a little bit of time for yourself. Then you got to go to sleep to repeat the same day. I'm not jacking that.
Yeah. So many people going through the motions and have bigger dreams, but never push towards them because they almost stuck in that rat race.
Yeah, and a lot of people get stuck because it's like how society's built right now, especially living in New York. The economy is crazy, so it's like they settling because they have to.
Yeah.
And it's like some people don't want to take risks because they scared, and I understand because look at how the economy is right now.
Yeah.
But we're not that over here. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's happening in real time. Like now, I'm getting more resources and more opportunities and more money just being an own boss instead of working my 9 to 5. So I prefer that 100%.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You were called upon to feature on Big L's recent album that was released by Mass Appeal. Put the mix down. What does that mean to you when people respect your craft enough to ask you to, you know, be featured on a posthumous album from a legend like Big L?
Testament that we don't. We the next ones. Well, not next, we now. You know what I'm saying? So obviously they see it, and it's a blessing and it's an honor to be on that type of album coming from Big L. So I want to shout out Mass Appeal, Mike Kajun, you know, Nas. They see what's going on.
Yeah.
We got the torch right now, so it's like, let's bring the new flair into this album.
Yeah.
And we soon about to drop another variation of the record, which is exclusive right here, so that should be coming out soon.
Word. Okay, that's what's up. And you've also done several collaborations with different brands. I know you were in the Vanson leather in one of their shoots, as well as I saw you like on the Nike campaign as well. Can you just speak to like some of the collaborations that you have coming up that you can speak on?
I'm coming out with my own collaboration capsule with Vanson. I'm coming out with 2 colorway coats. Creating a collection with G-Shock. It's in the talks right now. I'm coming out with my own hats for New Era. Coming out with my own BB Simon belt.
Okay.
We in talks with a couple of Lambs. I'm doing something with Lambs. Yeah, that's it for right now as far as the major projects that I'm working around for my debut album.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a staple to where it's like every piece of the fit is something that's inspired and cultured from Uptown, Harlem, G-Shock, New Era, Vanson, BB Simon. And we're gonna have the ultimate Uptown fit. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
and then I'm gonna have my own apparel too.
Okay.
You know, so.
Word. Nah, I can dig that. Through all your experiences, what would you say is one of the biggest lessons that you've learned to this day?
Just being true to yourself, believing in yourself and your team, work ethic, and just having an essential team. Like without an essential team, you're not really gonna go nowhere that understands you and understand their role. So I think those 3, work ethic, knowing yourself and your team, and work ethic, what I mean by consistency, you can't lose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And obviously you gotta have good music. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I can dig that. And what else you working on that you got coming up that you could speak on that you're excited about?
We kind of said it, like brand partnerships, debut album, working on tour right now with some big artists. Not plugged, it's not tapped in yet, but we in talks. Mad activation, summertime coming, so you know we're doing a Juneteenth. We just more so in the community. Now we got Good Day to Be in Harlem. We want to kind of touch more direct with the consumers of Harlem. So we're going to do mobile pop-up activations to where we selling T-shirts and vinyls in person.
Yeah.
Come to 2/5 at 4 o'clock. I'm going to be there from selling out shirts and stuff like that. So we want to kind of take, and it's an inspo from J. Cole of what he doing with the Honda going around. We want to kind of do that with New York and just touch the people.
Word.
But other than that, that's what it is.
And before we get out of here, I just want to ask you, what are a couple of things that are essential for you to have a good day?
So I need some Henny. I need my people, like my bros, Kajun, Cool. We need some ladies. We need a vibe. We need some music, whether it's on the block. Because we have a tendency of like, if it's nice outside, we just came from a spot, we'll go on the block and just vibe out. Yeah. We need some music, we need some ladies, we need some Henny, we need the Gazas. We need good weather. You heard? This cold shit not it.
Yeah, for sure.
So we need at least 65 and we vibey.
Yes, sir.
That's a good day to be in Harlem and nobody getting shot, nobody done died. 50 blocks come and fuck with the vibes, man.
Nah, that's what's up. You got any shout outs you want to give before we get out of here?
Shout out to GGU, shout out to Empire, shout out to my team, Jazz, Jane, my mother. Shout out to Harlem, God is from Harlem, Harlem is heaven. Yeah, debut album on the way, man. All socials, Fergie.Baby on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Formerly known as Twitter, now X. Good Day to Be on Harlem on YouTube right now, 400K in 3 weeks. Well, today makes it a month. So 400K in a month. Yeah, next single on the way. That's it.
So, Fergie Baby, appreciate you pulling up, jumping off the porch with us, bro.
Off the porch, man. Y'all got me outside, Atlanta to Harlem, Harlem to Atlanta. I'll be out there soon too, man.
Yeah, man. Make sure you pull up on us, man, when you come to the A.
100%, man.
Yes,
this is a platform that I always wanted to be a part of, so this is a full circle.
Word. Nah, that's what's
Thank
up,
you for having me. I'm honored.
For sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
I'm smelling good, we feeling great. This shit is like having gates. Got the blueprint of Harlem, baby. Think I'm Mike up in prison break. Now my bitch got me meditating.